What's good, y'all? We about to get straight into it. Today's live is about how we need to stop dating out of desperation. Okay? Today's live is about how we need to stop dating out of desperation. So I'm gonna get right to it. I'm getting right to it. I ain't gonna waste no time, right? So most of us don't choose the wrong person because, you know, we're stupid or something like that, right? We choose them because sometimes we are a little desperate. And the moment you are desperate, you stop seeing what's actually real. When you are in a desperation state, you cannot see what's real. You cannot see reality. You cannot see the person you're choosing. You're not really seeing them because you're in this desperation, which we're going to define later on. And so my intention for this live, right? I want to help you understand what's actually underneath desperation, and which is not just your behavior, not just the surface level, the how you text and stuff like that, or the situations, but the feeling in your body that's driving your desperation. And what I think is, if you don't sit with that feeling that's underneath your desperation, you'll end up using dating to escape it. You will use dating as a way to escape what's really under your desperation. And that desperation, right? If you choose to date in that desperation, that's what pulls you into the wrong people, the wrong relationships, and that same cycle will begin to happen over and over again. And my goal is simple. I want to help you stop dating out of desperation. I want you to feel what's underneath it, sit with it, understand it, so you can make better choices from a grounded place instead of fear. Also, I'm going to give you a practice. Now, this is something you can do in real time to help you sit with yourself, right? Instead of running uh, from your desperation and the feelings under it, instead of instead of sitting with your desperation and sitting with those feelings under it, I don't want you to avoid doing that and get into a relationship. I want you to sit with the loneliness, sit with the desperation. Because in your desperation, in your loneliness, that's where you come back to yourself. All right? So let's get into it. So what is desperation? What is desperation? So desperation happens when you are unconscious of what you actually need. You are not aware of the parts of your personality that need love, safety, understanding, and steady connection. So, when you are unaware of your own personal needs, your body panics, right? Your body, through your choices, tries to get those needs met fast through whoever is in front of you. Not because they're good for you, but because you are terrified of sitting with those parts of your personality alone. And that desperation that you are leading with, it blinds you to stop seeing the actual truth. You stop hearing yourself and you start to choose people from fear. And whoever you are choosing, you will always pick the wrong person. Or you will pick somebody, and because you don't see underneath your desperation, you're not sitting with your emotions under that, you're going to have a tough time in relationships, whether you are currently in one or if you're trying to date to get a partner. It's going to be crazy, bro or sis. We all went through this. Now, I want to say this too. There are different levels of desperation, right? There are extreme cases of desperation where people put themselves in harm's way. And there are more mild cases of desperation. But the point is, I want you guys to sit with the desperation and find what's underneath it. And a lot of times it's being alone, not separated from people, but being alone with the parts of yourself that you need to feel and see and understand. You're running away from yourself. So let's move on. So let's talk about what your body is trying to get in those moments. So when you are desperate, right? What is your body wanting in those moments, right? Right? What is your body wanting? And again, these are different mild cases of desperation, right? Your body is wanting, no, I'm sorry. My bad. It's okay, so let's talk about what your body is trying to get in those moments. So because you don't understand the needs underneath your desperation, you'll keep choosing the wrong solution, right? So what your body is wanting, right? So because you think you want the person, but you think you want like the person that's in front of you, right? You think like, I'm with this person, I want them, right? But you really want the feeling they give you. Because if you don't know what you need, you chase people who can't meet the need. See, because you're in this desperation state, right? And if we understand desperation, right, that is a trigger. You are in this fear state in your body, right? And with that, because you are unaware of what you need, right? You are unaware of yourself and what you actually need, right? And you are triggering certain abandonment parts of yourself, right? So you will cling to anybody, and that relationship or that person, it's gonna feel like, at first, it's gonna feel like they the one, right? That's to get you, that's to get you the relief for that relationship, but it's not real. Like the relationship, it's just making you feel good for the moment. But the deeper need, you're just using this person to make you feel a certain way. The deeper needs you're not feeling because you're trying to get those needs met outside of yourself, outside of seeing yourself. I know what I'm talking about. How are you doing? And so it's not about the person, it's about how they make you feel. when you're in this when you're in this desperation, when you're dating, right? A lot of times you are projecting onto these people qualities of yourself that you don't know. You don't know these qualities that are in yourself because you don't know yourself. They project out to the other person. Or if you're in a relationship, like you are clinging to this person, but you don't know why. But everything about this relationship is hurting you. It's hurting your life. It's hurting your well-being. You don't really know if they're really for you. It's just they're there for the moment to make you feel good. They give you some kind of relief. They give you some kind of relief. Somebody said soul ties. I understand what you're saying, bro. I'm not disputing that, but it's anyway. I'll get into that anyway. So your body is really craving. So underneath the desperation, right? You are craving safety. You're really craving safety, but you're using the relationship really to see yourself. But because you don't know yourself, you're actively trying to get this person to see you, but you don't know who you are. They don't know who you are, but you really want safety. And that feeling is like, I don't want to be abandoned again. So you cling to this person. You're craving to be wanted, to be chosen. You want genuine connection. You want underneath it all, this is what you really want. You want stability. But because you don't know yourself and you're using dating, you're using these relationships as a way to actually numb yourself from feeling alone with yourself. And so when I say alone, I don't mean like you are afraid to be by yourself alone, separate from other people. That's the lie of the culture, right? Saying that you gotta be alone. There is a time where you have to be in solitude. But during those times, you are really trying to understand yourself, understand your needs, understand your values, so that you can consciously enter into relationships and really find who's for you instead of being alone and isolating yourself, which is the other extreme of what I'm saying. All right, so what desperation makes you blind to? When you are desperate, when you are in a desperate state. Now, let's not demonize desperation, but realize when we are in our desperate states that it's okay to when you feel this way. It's that desperation is calling you inward. It's not calling you to avoid it by getting into relationships, unconscious of what you need. If that makes sense. So when you are desperate, fear is driving you. And when fear is driving you, you don't actually see the truth. You only see your fear of losing the person. So in some relationships, people like functionally, this may look different in different relationships, right? Some people are driven by desperation and they manifest it in a narcissistic way, which means in some cases, let's just look at it like in a different way. Like people are more attracted to them, right? And they are desperate, right? They are in a desperate state, and all they do is take from people, right? They just take, they don't give nothing, right? But they're still in a space and feeling of desperation. They're unaware of it and they hurt people. They are more covert narcissistic. And that is and that again, that's a spectrum. We all are on the spectrum. Some of us are more covert narcissistic and passive. Some people are more covert narcissistic, which means they take more. They just take. You know what I'm saying? So this desperation will manifest. I disagree, bro. I disagree. I know we like to say like the covert narcissistic people are more worse, but no. I'm more not covert like no yeah I think we're saying the people that who don't express what they really want. I'm the more resentful. I was the more resentful person. Actually, I think you're right. Yeah, overt. Well, the overt ones are not the worst ones. It's the covert ones. Speak about myself, bro. But we'll talk about that. And so you become blind to your needs. You become blind. So when you date in desperation, right? You become blind to the red flags in other people. You become blind to the red flags in yourself because you may not be good for the other person. Again, this is a different, everyone wear desperation a little bit different. But let's just say the person who is in a desperation state and they want a relationship so bad, right? They are blind to the people they are choosing. Some people who are already desperate, who are already in relationships, they tolerate abuse. I'm telling you what I know in my family right now, and it's sad. It's really sad. And and they're and they are blind to their self, and they abandon themselves. So the sadness that they feel of wanting close connection, right? That desperation is supposed to be pulling you to yourself internally to understand what you really need, to feel close to people, to feel close to yourself in order to love yourself in ways that meet your own core emotional needs for security, emotional safety. But what you do, you abandon yourself by using a relationship to get into. And you are blind to what you really want. So you're trying to seek that outside of yourself. But you are unaware. And so this desperation makes you blind to the people that you're bringing in your life. And you know that in your own life, in times where you pick people at the wrong time of your life, I've been there too. So why dating from desperation destroys you and your relationships? Because once you understand this, you stop blaming yourself and you start seeing the pattern. So this is the pattern. You stop blaming yourself. Some people blame themselves. It's me. It's me why you got potential, my boy. Thank you. Some people like, bro, like some people blame themselves why the other person is not with them. They be like, man, like if I would did this, if I was for women, if I looked better, if I cooked for him, if I did this for him, if I had sex with him, all they blame themselves. For men, we be like, bro, if I wasn't this protector dude, if I wasn't a provider, sometimes no matter what you do, bro, they're not for you, but you don't see it. Or I didn't see it. Because we don't know our own personal needs. We haven't took the time out to sit with ourselves alone, to feel ourselves and be connected to ourselves. But we're out there dating and we feel used, we feel abused. Y'all see what's going on online now? Y'all see what's going on online, people? Man, it's crazy. And so you start blaming yourself. And you're not seeing these patterns. And so desperation makes you grab whoever gives you attention. Now that attention, that attention that you're seeking is the relief you feel when you're with them. That's the feeling you really want if you're dating from desperation. But that's not the actual need that's going to satiate your body into a more positive emotional state to where you can sit and understand yourself and really know what you need and really create emotional security, really, and knowing your needs, knowing what individually makes you secure. You ignore your boundaries. You don't even know your boundaries. So now you're gonna be going on dates and you don't even know what the people taking advantage of you. You don't know what to say, and you don't know, why they disrespecting you in certain ways. You like, bro, like you do too much fast. How many of us a lot of us men, we go into a relationship just doing stuff. We don't even know why we doing it until we start feeling the lack of reciprocation from the other female. Vice versa, women too. They come into relationship not knowing themselves, just wanting a man in the house. You hide how you feel because you don't know how you feel. You're not really hiding it. You don't know what you feel. You don't know your emotions. So they are hidden to yourself and your ability to communicate that to someone else. You're chasing. Again, how many of us, we all been there, bro. Sis, we've been there, right? Where we wait, attract, don't chase, never give the key to your peace. Well, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. You're gonna give it away in your actions if you are unaware of it. I know this is a good, catchy little thing you saying, bro, but if you're not aware of it and you're not actively understanding yourself and sitting with your emotions and your feelings and meeting your real needs and being able to communicate that, you will repeat that in your actual life, and you'll be feeling bad about relationships and why your relationships are not, going where you want them to go. This is a good catchy thing though, but I'm trying to make you all aware. You accept breadcrumbs. What they say now, you'll be accepting breadcrumbs. And then you're gonna be trying to rush connection, which is not really deep connection, whereas though you're getting your needs met, but you're trying to rush connection to feel relief, which is not real relief in the sense of getting you to a more genuine positive emotions by understanding yourself and what you need to feel secure. So you're walking into dating with all this. And you're wondering why now your relationships like they are. And I ain't just talking about you, I'm talking about me too. So we almost done, y'all. So the key takeaway, right? Your body isn't chasing the person. Your body is running away from loneliness and sadness, which is the loneliness of being alone. Like, it's like you're in a crowded room. It's like you're in a crowded room and you feel alone, like no one really understands you. No one really knows you, right? No one really sees who you really are. You're running from that, not separation from people. People mix that up. It's not the same thing. I ain't talking about you being able to sit alone by yourself. No, we're talking about the aloneness of not being understood, not being known, not knowing the different parts of yourself that you've suppressed and denied. You run away from your sadness. And when you don't know how to sit with those feelings, you will always date out of desperation. And desperation will always choose the wrong people, the wrong relationships. And when you don't learn the lesson, within those patterns, you will continue to repeat it. You'll have broken relationships. You'll have a lot of wear and tear on your body, a lot of wear and tear in relationships. You may begin to isolate yourself, which is probably the worst thing you could probably do. All right, so now I'm going to give you guys a practice to sitting with your loneliness, sitting with your desperation. And the purpose of this is to not run away from the parts of yourself that feel sad, that really wants genuine connection. I don't want you guys to use dating and getting into a relationship to blind you from to actually blind you from what you actually need, what you actually really know about yourself, to actually secure relationships that really feel secure, but understanding yourself and what you need and know how to attract that into your life and choose that into your life. So, bro, when you say I'm fully aware, it's just not worth it anymore. My solitude is a scared place now. I don't seek validation from anyone. That's a lie, bro. You talking to a person who actually, I live this, bro. That I care about you, bro. I'm keeping it. If you was my dog, bro, I'll tell you this. If I was in your face, bro, I said, bro, that's a lie, because I care about you. I'm not saying that you are a lie. I'm saying what you believe is a lie, bro. What you believe about what you're saying is a lie. That's what I'm saying, bro. So here's a practice that I want you guys to do. This is to tend to your loneliness. So I want you to take the time out, right, to find a place to sit down. Maybe you could do this at nighttime or in the morning. I want you to make this your own thing. Make it your own, right? But the steps is important in a sense. So what we're trying to do is bring awareness to the parts of ourselves that feel sad, that feel alone, right? You want to bring attention to your body, right? And so we feel emotions through sensations in the body. Okay? So what you're looking for, so you're gonna sit down somewhere, sit quietly, put a timer on for like 5 minutes and just sit still. All right, just sit still. Take some deep breaths. What you're trying to do is feel sensations in your body. So for example, let's say it's sadness. Where do you feel sadness in your body at? Let's say for me, I feel sadness around this area, right? Actually, you want to not be thinking. You want to just be feeling. You want to be sitting in a way to where you are trying to bring awareness to what your body is feeling, right? So what I would want you to do is sit and scan, like visualize certain parts of your body. And when you're doing that, how does it feel? What sensation do you feel? Do you feel like some numbing feeling? Do you feel prickly feelings? Do you feel a feeling of, do you feel sharp feeling? Do you feel something in your stomach? Do you feel something in your chest? Right? Listen to your inner voice. There you go. Listen to the inner voice. But mostly I want you to feel, no thinking, just feel what's in your body. And you're going to feel these emotions through sensations, right? So I want you to take 3 breaths in and out. You can hold your breath at the end and you're just sitting to feel. Where do you feel the most tension in your body? Just go right there to the most tension in your body that you're feeling in the moment. Okay? So for the sake, we're feeling our sadness. Where do you feel this feeling where you feel like this? I'm trying to, cause that's how I feel. When I feel sad or when I feel in your collarbone, there you go, in your collarbone, right? What does that feel like to you? What sensation do you feel? Is it a sharp feeling? Do you feel like what is that you feel in your collarbone? Whatever that feeling is, you're going to focus on that feeling. You're going to focus on that feeling, on that sensation, right? So let's say this is sadness. So for me, sadness is all this because it feels like I'm about to cry. It's like in my head. It's like all in this area sometimes. It's in my head. A pierce feeling. Okay. So you want to sit in that feeling. You're going to bring all your awareness to this feeling. Breathing into it. Feeling it. And the purpose of doing that is to actually allow you to feel it so it can soften. So it can soften. You can really release it. Now, this is a practice, so which means you're not going to get it right the first time. It's not about getting it right. It's about you getting used to sitting with your body and feeling these uncomfortable feelings, because once you start practicing these things, then it's going to get intense. So sometimes your sadness, you may cry. You know how many times sometimes I sat with my sadness and I started crying? That's what it's for. You're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to feel it and release it. And sometimes some people don't, they're running from themselves, the pain of feeling it. And what we gotta do is feel that tension in us. Okay? So you're feeling into that part of you. Yeah, there you go. You can catch feel like we can breathe. Yes. If that's how you are conceptualizing it, then that's good, bro. Or sis, it's good. So once you're sitting with this emotion, you're sitting with this sadness, right? You're gonna you can speak to this part of you. You can speak to these parts of yourself, these emotions, because it's gonna tell you what it needs you to do. And it may do that in symbols. It may do that in different pictures. Like our emotions is not going to just talk. It may do that. I don't know. However you're wired, but you may get visions. Your emotions, it's going to, in some way, you're going to have like a picture of something. It's going to be like it could be like your emotions are going to speak. And so what you're going to ask is part of you. What are you feeling today? What do you wish someone would say to you right now? You're speaking to this part of you. What do you need right now? Right? What do you need? What will help you feel less alone in this moment? So you're bringing awareness to this part of you that's sad, that's alone. And you're going to say to yourself, you're going to do like this. I'm telling y'all, listen, I'm telling you what I do. Listen. One day, right, I was laying down, right? I was feeling desperate, right? Now, most guys in here can relate to this. See, that desperation for a lot of us is we want connection. We want that close connection, but we are abandoning ourselves, right? But what do men do? They do porn, right? And now it gets worse. They're abandoning themselves. That desperation that's pulling you to bring so you become aware of these emotions and you can sit with them. Yes, you are externalizing it by using porn. So you avoid sitting with yourself and you get on porn, you play games. Now you numb it even more. And then it's going to be kind of harder for you to connect with yourself and connect with others. But one day, right, I was in here, right? I was asleep. Well, I was up and I was just struggling. I really, in a moment, I knew like what I needed. And I was in a state of desperation, right? I lied to you not. I said, okay, I sat with that part of me. I was feeling to that part. And it was telling me it just wanted a hug, right? I lied to you not. I hugged myself. I went to sleep. I woke up feeling a lot better. And what I do after that, I said, okay. I said, you know what? Now, once you figure out, okay, sometimes when you are lonely, sometimes when you're alone, there's a part of you that wants your presence. It may want you to hug him. You may want physical touch. You may need to do some affirmations, right? This is meeting your personal needs. And when you do that, you put yourself in a positive vibration. You have a better frequency. As you love yourself in these ways, you have a better frequency, energy of a hug. Yes. You'll have a better frequency. You gotta up your frequency by loving yourself, by sitting with yourself, meeting these parts' needs. So whenever you are desperate, instead of trying to use dating to numb yourself from your pain of sitting with yourself, why not do this exercise? Sit with those parts of yourself. Feel into that part of you. And allow yourself to focus on this part of you that's sad. And talk to it. Ask it what it needs. Sometimes it just wants your presence. It just wants it wants affirmation. It wants to know that you are here with it. Yes, be conscious of practically. Do it practically. And what that does is over time, it may not happen right then and there, but as over time when you do it, you will start to feel more grounded, more secure, really in your vibration. You'll feel more grounded. That energy, like that desperate energy, you'll feel more grounded in your body. You'll walk like this. You'll be walking like all this posture shit that people be doing, like how to make a better posture. No, the posture is sitting with these parts of yourself. I lie to you not. That will straighten your posture if you sit with your emotions and you meet your needs and you begin to be in a more positive vibration. And that will signal. You won't have to be taking lessons on how to stand up straight. You'll be standing straight because you're meeting your needs. So this practice, I want you guys to do this practice. And as you start to do this practice, I'm telling you, you will start to feel more confident. And the purpose of this practice is to sit with your emotions, right? To sit with your loneliness and figure out what it needs. But it also is for you to help you to be aware of what you need as far as emotional security. So write down, what do you need? Like, what does emotional security look like for you? What does it look like for you to feel emotionally secure? Start to figure out your values. What do you value? Learn how to, I have a video that talks about values. How knowing your values. If you don't know your values, then good luck trying to find somebody that's more in alignment with you. You better forget that. So this is a time for you to know yourself, sit with yourself, understand yourself, see yourself. and not abandoning yourself. So this is a time to sit, understand, see, hear, understand, and love yourself. Okay? So hopefully this was helpful. Someone said, you said, I think everyone understands themselves. I think people understand something is wrong, right, with them, but they don't know how to go about fixing that thing, right? They know something is wrong, but a lot of times pain of relationships after relationships will start to get you to be more intentional about doing what is needed to, you can say, get into a better relationship. But when you start doing that, you start to heal. You start to really figure out, okay, this is what I gotta do to really, this is what I gotta do to really become a better person for myself. And so if you do this practice, I'm not telling you overnight you're gonna be confident, you're not gonna date without desperation. I'm not telling you that at all. I'm telling you, if you practice this over time, you will feel more grounded. And when you're doing this practice, it's about you understanding yourself, understanding your needs, and being able to go back out into dating with more clarity about what you need. You're not desperately trying to cling to somebody. You're not trying to desperately use people in your desperation. You're really trying to connect with people. So, in saying that, I hope that this was useful for you guys. I hope this was useful. I thank you guys for being on this live. I thank you guys. Also, if you want to do this, I have a coaching program. It's called the Awareness Plug Method, and pretty much dating and relationship mastery. And pretty much I take you personally. I help you to understand your triggers. I help you to understand your dating patterns, and I help you to build better standards, boundaries. That's all in my coaching program. And so if you like this, imagine you in my coaching program. You feel me? Imagine you in the coaching program. So that's going to be in the description. That's for you if you want to do that. The link is in this. The link will be in the description. But I also have a meditation where I'm actually leading you through a loneliness meditation. I'm guiding you. If you look, I'm gonna put it in the in this video description, and I'm guiding you through a meditation of sitting with your loneliness. It's no excuse, y'all. I don't want y'all out here looking crazy dating, men or women, especially men or younger men, because they're dealing with a lot of this loneliness, this desperation, dating out of desperation. There you go. I'm not alone, but I'm lonely because you're not known. You're not lone. I mean, so you're not known to yourself. There you go. And again, don't use meditation and none of these other things to avoid yourself or abandon yourself. You're trying to understand, see, hear, listen, and meet these needs. To go back out into the world with more clarity, understanding of yourself, and looking to really make genuine connections, not out of desperation, but out of understanding and finding genuine compatibility. So stop dating out of desperation. Hopefully this was helpful. This was useful for your life. And again, thank you guys. Look forward tomorrow for my other live. And thank you. Blessings. Peace.